Ladies and gentlemen, you are here with the boys of Poi and Soy on our post-credits segment. Post-credits is the segment where we go through movies, TV, entertainment, all the good stuff in between. I am your co-host, Nolan Chang, and with me, as always, is Jalen Holston. Just Jalen today. Keoni had some things he had to take care of, so it's just going to be a tandem duo today. We got a very, very short, sweet, and this one I'm pretty sure will be short and sweet. We're just going to get straight to the hit points. But before we get started, we are going to say a big shout out to our partners, W Energy. They got all the good stuff in powdered form for your energy needs. Only 2 cups of coffee's worth of caffeine in each scoop, each serving. It's all clean, natural ingredients so that if you guys need it for your work, for gaming, for just going for a little workout, whatever it may be, maybe just a little pick-me-up to get through the day. Yeah. W's the thing for you. Go to w.gg, use our promo code POINSOY, POINSOY, for 10% off your order. You're not only supporting them as a business, but you are also supporting us as content creators by doing so. So go get you some W, get your W for the day, bingo bongo, and let's get it on. Anyways, getting on to the meat and potatoes of this short and sweet segment, Ahsoka, Episode 6. Jalen, as the Star Wars connoisseur, first off, I would say I'm obviously not someone that has watched Rebels or Clone Wars, so this was my first introduction to Thrawn in the flesh. I gotta say, I am very impressed with just like his calm but menacing demeanor on screen. Lars Mikkelsen, fantastic job. I know he was the real voice actor for the actual show.
Perfect execution. Obviously, when you have the voice actor actually being able to play the live action version, like that's such a rarity, like, and it's so incredible to see finally brought to life. Like Dave Filoni is doing Rebels season 5, and it's doing it in a way that, you know, I do wonder how the more casual people heading into the show are feeling right now, because it's layers, man. There's so many fucking layers to this. Every single episode, for those who have stuck with it since Rebels and since Dave Filoni's, incarnation of all of these characters. And I think it was just a very, very good execution on building up the hype for a villain, and then immediately delivering on, oh, this dude's playing, 4D chess, and everybody's out here playing checkers. And so I accidentally went on Twitter on Wednesday during the day. I was like, oh shit, no. And really all I saw was Thrawn, and I was like, okay, no big deal. They dropped Thrawn in this episode. We all kind of figured that, but nobody had as much as a reaction to not only Thrawn dropping in this episode, but the reuniting of Ezra and Sabine. I figured my Twitter would have been blowing up out of proportion to be like, Ezra's finally live action. We've asked for but I guess that goes to say and kind of speak to how big and impressive a character that Thrawn was, that he dwarfs the return of another Jedi that survived Order 60. Yeah. Well, by technicality, survived Order 66 and was trained by Kanan Jarrus. And obviously, Kanan's son is in the fucking show with Syndulla. But this is how you write setup episodes and filler episodes. This is how you peel onion layers off of characters, because we got to dive more into Baylan, who's one of my favorite characters on the show, and his relationship to Shin as they're going to chase down Sabine when they go down to the planet and they're on the, trying to escape and find Ezra and all that good stuff. You really get another layered look at that phenomenally written villain, anti-hero, you know what I mean? He just doesn't have a...
They put it best in the show. Like, they're mercenaries, kind of. You know what I mean?
They're just there to do what they need to do to get their payday. There's not like a real moral code here. When Baylan says that line, like, after Shin asks him, do you miss the order? And he just replies very quickly and confidently with, like, I missed the idea of it.
Right? Yeah,
I think the idea of the Jedi Order is beautiful. I was like, damn. So that that sucker punched you right there. But yeah, seeing that kind of play out, and then of course we got introduced to the fucking night troopers, dude. They all looked amazing, man. It's Thrawn's army.
Mask. I was like,
yes. Looked so good, dude. I wish I knew the race and aliens that Ezra was hanging out with. I don't off the top of my head, but those guys were cool.
They look like Koopa Troopers from
like
Mario,
crab troopers. I don't know, but yeah, it was cool. And it was cool to see Sabine have a little bit of an arc where she realizes, like, more and more she's really just gonna have to rely on being a Jedi, because she tried to fight like a Mandalorian and got sauced, and then when she just whipped out the lightsaber. No answer. So, yeah.
What I was going to say, I'm glad you brought it up. I do think that the Ezra reveal or reintroduction, I don't think it hit hard because we assume that a lot of the viewers of this show are those from Rebels who watch that show, which is, I'm not going to say it isn't, but I feel like a lot of the viewership for these live action shows for Star Wars are those who've just kind of been keeping up with The Mandalorian. Oh, you got introduced to Ahsoka and The Mandalorian. Oh, okay, well now she has her own show. Now the Jedi, who doesn't like to watch Jedi, right?
Right.
So I feel like there may have been like a hit or miss where it's like, well, I know they're looking for this guy, Ezra, but who the F is Ezra? Oh, she found this kind of indigenous group here on this planet. And then all of a sudden in the back shot, you just see him leaning against one of the pods. And he's like, hey, it took you long enough. I'm like, all right. Okay, well, this doesn't really make it. And I don't know if they will, because I know you mentioned it. They want to keep this show Ahsoka.
Yeah.
But it is going to be very interesting to see in the last 2 episodes, like, are they going to show a little bit of like, hey, has Ezra kind of been upkeeping with his thing? Or is
I
he
100%
just kind of...
think that's where we're going to, like, it's going to be the team led by Ahsoka taking on Thrawn, which will leave on a cliffhanger for the actual movie that they're developing, obviously, because there's no way that we're solving the issue of Thrawn in one season of Ahsoka. Like, no possible way.
My prediction is, and this is just shot in the dark, the climactic battle is going to be Ahsoka defeating Balin and or Shin.
Mm-hmm.
And Ezra is going to die at the hands of General Thrawn in some manner. To
die. Not just
dead. Like
dead. Yeah.
Because we know Thrawn's supposed to be returning for future live action, so it's not like Ahsoka's going to go up and just like slice him in half. That's going to be something that's continuing, and it's probably going to be some sort of, plot device to move the villain arc a little further. To be like, well, he murdered your love, so now, Sabine, you have to stick with Ahsoka and finish your training.
It's one of those, you've got to do it the Thanos style, where we really have to buy into loving Thrawn as much as we did Thanos in Infinity War. He is the ultimate and penultimate tactician. Like, there is nothing that he won't think of or come up with or plan for, even when he has to improvise, like he did in this episode. He will always think things all the way through. He will study everything that you can think about, everything that you love and care about. Like, he knows everything about everybody. Therefore, he knows how to pick and pull and push all your buttons to get you to do exactly what he's thinking you're going to do. And it's just so calculated. He's calm because he knows he has the right answer and the solution. It is damn near impossible for this man to be caught off guard. And it took basically 5 seasons of Rebels to finally get him kind of subdued. But even then, he had a plan, and he knew what the plan was going to be, and he executed it.
Well, I mean, a lot of exciting things that can still come. We're just days away from episode 7. I'm hoping that it's another banger because it's been picking up steam. Before we get going, Jillian, anything else you wanted to add regarding the show, regarding things going on in your life, anything?
If you're not watching the show, what are you doing? Stop what you're doing. Watch it, because it's freaking fantastic. This is the best Star Wars we've had in a long time, since season 1 of The Mandalorian, all right? That's what I'm telling you. You gotta stop what you're doing, put your tits on the moon, and go watch this show. That's it.
It's not even just tits on the moon. There's also whales to the moon and further.
Whales to the moon that are riding tits and then coming back. That's what's happening right there. You gotta watch this whole show, because it's crazy, okay?
Tits to the moon.
Tits to the moon, man.
Anyways, that'll do it from us here on the Poi and Soy podcast in this post-credits segment. Jalen Holston, say farewell to everybody. Our socials and everything will be in the description. You can follow us on Instagram at the Poi and Soy podcast, where we're coming out with reels. I'm slacking on that, so I'm going to get back to that a little bit. You know how it rolls. But either way, thank you guys for making us a part of your day. We enjoyed having you be a part of us. From everyone here at Poi and Soy, good vibes and love.
Good vibes and love, everybody. Bye-bye. Oh, might want to take that. Sounds like an important phone call, mate. You don't want to...
Peace.